This is a Swede Speaks.
It's Friday, and Friday means that it's time for This Week in Sweden. But before we start, let me just say that this is my day job. I would like to thank everyone who supports my work, and if you appreciate what I do, and if you want me to continue doing this, please consider sending me $1 or $2, or 10, or 100. That's always greatly appreciated. Now, let's get started. Last Friday, June 29th, 2018, according to Swedish TV4's voter opinion, which is a compilation of different polls, the Sweden Democrats are gaining support, while the Social Democrats are losing support. According to this voter opinion, 19.9% preferred the Sweden Democrats in June, which is an increase of 0.6 percentage points since May, and 25.1% prefer the Social Democrats, which is 0.7 percentage points less than in May. In June, according to this, 29.2% preferred the Social Democrats and the Green Party, the two parties making up the Swedish government. The Left Party, which is the government's support party in parliament, was preferred by 9.3%, giving us a total of 38.5% preferring the government parties and their support party. The alliance parties, consisting of the Christian Democrats, the Liberal Party, the Centre Party and the Moderate Coalition Party, had a combined support of 38.2%. Election night in Sweden, which is on September 9th, will be very interesting. Hopefully, I will be able to live stream that day. The Swedish Border Police announced that they will increase their border controls at harbours and airports. And according to a poll conducted by the pollster Ipsos, men and women prioritize different issues in the upcoming Swedish general election. According to the survey, women think that healthcare, the care of the elderly and the environment are more important issues than men think. Men, on the other hand, think that the economy of Sweden is more important than women think. Almost twice as many men as women prioritize Sweden's economy. Men also dominate when it comes to prioritizing taxes, migration policies, crime and law and order. David Alin, head of opinion at Ipsos, says that the differences between the sexes might be due to both work life and societal structures. Alin says that, quote, partially it can be due to the fact that women to a higher degree take care of sick elderly relatives, but also the kids. In addition to that, more women work in the care industry and have experiences of their own of the conditions there, close quote. In Gothenburg, a tram went off the rails during Friday evening in downtown Gothenburg. When the tram put the brakes on, it went off the rails and drove up on the sidewalk, according to the police. The tram was removed right before midnight. On Saturday, June 30th, in Malmö, in the province of Skåne, in the south of Sweden, during the night towards Saturday, police and ambulance was called to a multi-family house in Malmö after a woman fell from a balcony on the second floor. She was brought to hospital and was severely wounded. Her wounds were not life-threatening, according to police spokesperson Fredrik Bratt. A man aged roughly 35 years was arrested, suspected of severe physical abuse. Fredrik Bratt said that, quote, there is a suspicion that she was helped to fall from the balcony, close quote. The woman and the man knew each other since before. In Helsingborg, also in the province of Skåne, there was a shooting, and after the shooting, some men were kicking a man lying on the street. Police was in the area, but didn't stop the men kicking to begin with. In the neighborhood of Klagshamn, in Malmö, in the province of Skåne, a deceased human being was found floating in the water, at the beach. Police was called there, but no information was given on the person's sex or age. The police shut off the area, and forensic staff was there to investigate if a crime had been committed. On Sunday, July 1st, Gnesta, Södermanland, to the southwest of Stockholm. During Sunday evening, a man in his 50s and a woman in her 40s were harmed in an axe attack. A man aged roughly 55 was detained by the police. He was later arrested, suspected of attempted murder. The condition of the victims was stable during Monday morning. Gnesta is a small town. In the neighborhood of Vivalla, in Örebro, in the province of Närke, about 125 miles to the west of Stockholm. During Sunday afternoon, the police was called to a fight in Vivalla. When the police arrived, one person was stabbed. Nobody is deceased, police spokesperson Jens Afterheide said. in Almedalen, in Visby, on the island and province of Gotland in the Baltic Sea. During Politicians' Week in Almedalen, Ulla Andersson, political spokesperson for the Left Party, said that they want to reintroduce and raise taxes on capital incomes, housing and fortunes. Within a few years, taxes could be raised with 50 billion Swedish kroner, roughly $5.8 billion US, with the Left Party's policies. Sweden has 10 million citizens, or inhabitants. In the neighborhood of Kviberg, in Gothenburg, the police was called to a big fight in Kviberg after a cricket game derailed. Up to 20 persons were involved in the fight, in which cricket bats were used as weapons. 3 persons were brought to hospital. In Östersund, in the province of Jämtland, in the northwest of Sweden, during Sunday afternoon, a 17-year-old girl was reportedly raped in Östersund harbor. On Monday, July 2nd, in Helsingborg, in the province of Skåne, in the south of Sweden, it was reported that a member of the moderate coalition party emptied the party funds, a sum of 1.3 million Swedish kroner, roughly $149 US, due to compulsive gambling. Now the moderates in Helsingborg don't have an election fund in the upcoming general election. On Tuesday, July 3rd, in the neighborhood of Nydala, in Malmö, in the province of Skåne, in the south of Sweden, during Tuesday afternoon, there was a shooting in which 1 man died and another man was severely injured. A tobacconist in the area told the mainstream media outlet Sydsvenskan that, quote, "They shoot everywhere. It is too much now," close quote. In the 16 days period ending with July 3rd, 11 persons were shot and 5 died in Malmö. Mikael Damberg, the Swedish Minister for Enterprise and the Social Democrat, traveled to the World Championships in soccer in St. Petersburg, Russia, quote, "to support the national team forwards," close quote. Damberg traveled business class with Finnair, together with 3 civil servants. The trip cost the Swedish taxpayers 100,000 Swedish kroner, roughly $11,500 US. To the Swedish mainstream media outlet Aftonbladet, Damberg said that he loves soccer. Until Sweden beat Mexico in the World Championships, the Swedish government was boycotting them, but after the victory, they changed their mind. The boycott was due to the fact that the World Championships were held in Russia, or are held in Russia. On Wednesday, July 4th, in Visby, in the province of Gotland, in the Baltic Sea, when the Swedish journalist, consultant and debater Thomas Gür held a pop-up seminar outside Visby Cathedral, in which he talked about integration, the dean of said cathedral decided to ring the church bells to silence Gür. The dean, Mats Hermansson, thought that Gür's message was unpleasant. What was Gür's message then? Gür spoke about 9.5 theses for integration, and they were the following. Thesis 1 to 3. Assimilation is a precondition for integration. Swedish culture is simply Swedish culture. Hold Swedish language high. Thesis 4 to 6. Culture beats economy. Trust gives growth. Without export, no welfare. Thesis 7 till 9. Stricter punishments give less crime. Control your territory if you want to be respected. Discounts on punishments is to spit the victims in their faces. And Thesis 9.5 is the insight that there are no comfortable solutions to the kind of problems that integration presents, but that you will have to be happy with trying to make the best out of different kinds of conflicts over goals. Thomas Gür, by the way, is of Turkish background. The dean, Mats Hermansson, later stated that he regretted ringing the church bells and called his actions hasty. Gür made the same kind of pop-up last year. Maybe he will be allowed to do his pop-up seminar next year without being silenced. In the neighborhood of Holmängen, in Vänersborg, in the province of Östergötland, in the west of Sweden, during Wednesday morning, a man in his 30s was found dead. Later the same day, 2 men and 1 woman was arrested, or they were arrested, suspected of murder. Hans Lippens, press spokesman at the police in western Sweden, said that, quote, "somehow they are all connected to each other," close quote. In the neighborhood of Husby, in Stockholm, a young man was stabbed during Wednesday afternoon, and after about half an hour he died from his wounds. The man was in his 20s. Later on Wednesday, no suspects were arrested. Police said they think that it was a perpetrator who acted alone. And on Thursday, July 5th, in Visby, in the province of Gotland, in the Baltic Sea, during Thursday evening, several Sweden Democrat politicians were attacked. A group of young people threw rocks at them and their camper, forcing the Sweden Democrat politicians to leave the place. In Stockholm, during Thursday evening, the police tried to stop a car to control it. The man driving the car refused to stop and crashed at the street of Norra Stationsgatan in downtown Stockholm. The driver and another person in the car were injured and brought to hospital. The driver was arrested under suspicion of severe traffic carelessness and driving while influenced by drugs. These were some of the stories that came out of Sweden during the last 7 days, from Friday until Thursday. As you probably understand, I had to pick and choose some stories over others, otherwise this video would simply be too long. I upload This Week in Sweden every Friday, so I will produce the next episode next Friday. And that's what I have to say about that. As I already mentioned, I am very grateful to the people who support my work. And if you like what I do, if you think what I do is important and that I should continue doing so, please consider sending me $1 or $2, or 10, or 100. That's always greatly appreciated. Also, keep me in your prayers, like, comment and share. And check out my live stream tomorrow, Saturday, at 1 p.m. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Western European Time, 10 p.m. Central European Time, 11 p.m. Eastern European Time, and midnight further Eastern European Time. I hope to see you all in the live stream. So, until next time, have a nice day and God bless.